So we're back to doing a little bit of work on this van. This one in particular, somewhat of a deadline. It'll be before the No Name Nationals because we need to have headers on it for the No Name Nationals. We've already got the 4-barrel carburetor. That's been on there for about a year now, I think. Well, no, not quite a year. Getting close to it. And we've been running a stock single exhaust with itty bitty 318 manifolds. And so we got some Hedman headers to go on here. I got some new gaskets, some ARP bolts to replace the ones that are in here. We want to leave the studs on the ends if ever possible. That's on all 4 corners. That's coolant passages. So we're going to start hopefully taking this stuff off. I have an idea that this stuff's probably been off in the past 50 years, but not sure. If not, then yeah, we're going to be dealing with 50 years of pain. So to be hilarious, right off the bat, I was wondering if this would be really tight, but this first one just went click. So I'm just going to put the camera on this one and see if it just pops loose with one hand. And look at that. Look at that amazingness. Hopefully we have this luck all the way around. And oh gosh. That one good. This is one of the studs. The stud sometimes will come out with the nut, but if anything, we want the stud back in there and sealed. Like I said earlier, that is a coolant passage in behind there in the head. So that's going to be good. That one's good. And then we'll get our other wrench and see if we can maybe fit this one. Or wow. Way too easy on this side at least. Cake, baby. Cake. Alright, so this side is clear now. This side is the one that favors the driver's side. These are offset like all the cars are in Chrysler products. So the gap here is much tighter than you have anything over there. And with the way the floor pan kicks up, all of these I was able to get off from here, from this location. Even the very last one, the nut on that stud down there. But the one down here, you can either do one of two things. You can either go through here, you might better kind of snake your extension and a socket up there, but I was able to actually reach in under here and fit it on there and pop it off. Came off real easy, just like all the others. So what that leaves us to do is we're gonna have to crawl under here, and we have the old Y-pipe system. I'm gonna have to cut it here in front of the Y, and on it might be able to allow that one to go off over there once we cut it here. So I think here and here, basically at the junction. Alright, so I did cut the Y-pipe on this side and quickly remembered that I needed to disconnect the battery cable. And you have the large nut, small nut. Like the small nut usually ranges around at 11-30 seconds, somewhere in there. And so that's out of the way, and there's the exhaust manifold on the ground. So one side's out. I'll make one more cut, and that one should drop out. I don't think there's any interference on that one over there. Should be a lot of room there, so we'll see. Alright, so this side's out. It came out from the top once I cut it down here. Otherwise, the oil filter would be in the way. If the oil filter was not in, it probably would go out of the bottom. So consider that if you're doing this. I'm going to test fit this passenger side header, and it looks fairly straightforward. There might be a little tweaking we have to do, but it can go right back down through here between the K-frame and the oil filter. Slip it all the way down, and then you can hang it onto the studs. And there's a little bit of fore and aft here, or side by side I should say, rather than fore and aft. But we have a fuel line that goes right here, between here and the control arm. We want to be cognizant of that, make sure that it's not touching, or we could possibly even insulate that line if it's still a little close for our comfort. Back here at the tail end of it, it's kind of looming under the transmission pan in here. But ultimately you want this to be flush, be flat, and pretty close. I'm just going to look around and see if there's any other obstruction just in case. Here's where the line is touching the header. That's a no-go. If for, you know, from there you'd have to make sure that that is not touching. Probably when you draw it down. I might draw it down a couple places just to see where it will finalize, and then we'll go to the other side and see how that does. But underneath, you can see it hanging down there. Not bad. This is probably the easy side. Usually the passenger side is on these Mopars of any sort, cars, trucks, vans. And we'll see how we do on the other side. It might be able to slip up from underneath. Driver's side header is test fit. I did have to go in from the bottom. You put it around at an angle and slip it up into position. Come back around the top, and then you can hook it on this one first, and then it pretty much lifts up. Do it that way. Of course, it comes back off when I'm showing you. You know how it is. But it should. There we go. And then you see it's kind of gapped out at the top, so we'll have to make sure that it would set flush. But what I'll do, I'll run a couple nuts on here, both sides, see where it wants to settle, and if there's anything in the way. So far, it doesn't look. It doesn't look bad. I don't see anything in the way instantly. It looks like our battery cable will fit back on the starter there. Alright, so everything fits up. There's no interference anywhere, neither side. We might have to reconfigure the battery cable, but we'll figure that out later. We're going to go ahead and get them back off, clean up the flanges on the head side, get our gaskets ready. Okay, so these are wiped down pretty well, and gonna get ready for the gaskets. I like to use Mr. Gasket Ultra Seals, and I believe the part number on this, even though it has a scratch to it, is 6949. These are for the pre-Magnum, or the old LA series small block Chrysler. Okay, and they will always say Ultra Seals, Ultra Seal on them. They had one that was just the Mr. Gasket Header Seals. I found them not as good, but that's why you have the Ultras. Ultras I always found worked really good. Little chance of leaks, especially if you use a decent header. Now these are considered low line or decent, and then you have like TTI and, you know, Doug's headers and all that kind of stuff above that. But I've used Hooker, Hedman, I think even Blackjack headers with these seals, and never had a problem with popping and leaking and all that kind of stuff. Now studs or bolts, I've used these before. These are ARP, and these will go everywhere but the end studs, because we want to leave those in there. I got a tip for that in a second. Part number on that is 144-1102, and it'll fit the 318, 340, 360. Even though it just says 340, 360, it's the same. It's all interchangeable. They come with their own washers. And what I like to use on these, since the flange is not as deep as this shoulder here, I like to take one of the old factory style washers, and once you put the header on it, you put this on there, and then you can just set a lock washer on top of it, and then put the nut back on. So I'm going to work on this side. We'll get it on, we'll show you, and we'll have it ready for the other side, which will probably be the more difficult side to get everything in. But these are great because they go either way. You can just hang it on the ends here. See that? So slip it in there, and you're pretty much ready to start going. here's the other pieces and the rest of the hardware that comes with the Hedman headers. And you've got our collectors up in the corner here. You've got your ring retainers, flange gaskets, or whatever you want to call those. And then we have their header bolts, which these are fine. I use these for backup. They look similar to the ARPs we use, but I've just gotten so used to using ARPs. So these are not something you throw away, you just keep them. Unless you want to use them, that's fine. And then we have the basically the flange hardware to hold all this together. So that's what you get included with the rest of the header kit. They do come with their own gaskets, but I would recommend not using those. So there it is, but that's open headers. It's just a 318, but it always sounds nasty when you do that. We're gonna have to work on the rest of the pipes, and we'll pipe them, plumb them into the side pipes, which are off at the moment. And once we get a good heat cycle on it, we'll go through and make sure to retighten all the nuts and the screws on the headers, just like a heat cycle tighten. And that's why I always doing these ultra seals, and usually good after that. But we'll see. Should be, like I said, pretty good. Always had great experience with them. So we need to do like kind of an S that comes over to the pipes, and we'll work on that on the side pipe episode. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for coming.